It's rolling.
And the microphone is good enough to pick us up
It
here?
It should.
Sweet.
I know. I know. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we are living it up, making life juicy. I have my beautiful guest, Iena SpiritWalker, right?
Hello, beautiful souls. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. This is our first time using this location, so hopefully it'll come out good, but it looks good.
Breaking it in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so you just are always doing these amazing things, and you're doing animal healing or animal communication?
Mm-hmm. Animal healing, animal communication, and also animal mediumship, so I speak with animals who have crossed over as well.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. When did you learn how to do this? Well, there's a certain kind of thing, too, that you've just always had all your life.
Yes, I was born with it. I've been speaking with animals since I was a child. When other kids were playing with Barbie dolls and stuff, I was in the woods picking up wild mice and telling them about my day. And if you look on my website, there's pictures of me as a kid with all these random wild animals, and there's one with a butterfly on my shirt, and I'm holding like a wild baby rabbit and a bird, and so.
Oh, well, you do have a story about chipmunk, but just save that for a moment.
Okay, I will save it.
Okay, so holding little mice. Oh my goodness, how sweet is that? How sweet is that? Oh, go ahead, tell this chipmunk story.
The chipmunk story? Okay. So as an animal communicator, somehow the animals find me when they need help. And it is not unusual for me to go out my front door and find animals right there on the porch. And at the time I was living in Oregon, this is one of my favorite moments because I have a lot of special moments with animals, but this one's really precious. So I actually was living in a tiny cabin that was off the grid, and I was running to the outhouse, and I go outside. I had to let it be. And I go outside, and there's a little chipmunk on the porch, and he was all soggy, and I was like, oh! And chipmunks are so tiny, and so I picked his little body up, and he was soaking wet, and he was just showing me images of. The farm dog had him in his mouth quite a lot and was playing with him, and he was exhausted and just soaking wet. So I held him up against my chest, and I was just doing healing work on him, and I'm also whispering to my daughter, trying to wake her up to see this really cool little chipmunk that I was holding, and it was really fun. And so what happened was I don't even remember peeing. I think I held it for like 3 hours, but I didn't want to put him down. He was so beautiful, and so I was doing healing work on him, and at some point my daughter was like, you're going to have to put him down. And I was like, okay, because I had to do farm work. I was working on a farm at the time. I had to do stuff. So I made up this box. I carried him around with me, and I made up this box. And I covered him up with a blanket, and I put all these little flowers and stuff in the box with him, and I put it up really high. I have 2 outdoor cats too, and there were other animals, birds of prey and stuff, and I was just praying and doing all these energy shields around him, and I kept checking on him. And then we broke for lunch, and my daughter and I went back up, and he was hopping around in the box. He was feeling much better.
Good.
So I picked him up, and I said, in my mind, I said, okay, now are you hungry? And he was telling me yes. And I said, what would you like to eat? What can I get for you? His answer was ladybugs.
Oh, great. Great. All right.
And I had to explain that humans aren't really good at catching bugs, and could you please give me another alternative? And so he sent me a picture of something that I knew was called miner's lettuce. We're in Oregon, mind you, so it's a little flower. It's a flower. It's beautiful. But I also knew there was another plant that looked so similar that was not miner's lettuce. So my daughter was standing with me, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. And I had him in my hand, and I'm holding him like this. So at this point, he's in my palms, and his little fingers are on my fingertips, and his face is leaning forward over my fingertips. And I'm like, okay, is this the one? And he grabbed the little flower, he sniffed it, let it go. That's not it. I said, okay, all right, how about this one? Is this it? And he'd lean forward and he'd grab the flower, sniff it. No. I'm like, okay, all right, I think I got it. And then the third one, I'm like, there's one up there, the hill. And so I walked up the hill, And my daughter's still watching. I walked up the hill and I said, okay, is this it? And he was like, and he just started like pulling the flowers off, and like I was like, oh good, I did it. So I'm like grabbing all this miner's lettuce, and he just ate it like crazy.
Aww.
And he did eventually, like he got better. He ate tons of food. He left, and then that was so cute that he loved miner's lettuce, and he left. But the coolest part is he would come back to visit. He would stand. There was a pile of fallen logs outside our window. And he would stand on the fallen logs, and he would like dance around and do like, chip, 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 you know, the little chipmunk chirp, and dance around. And I'd be like, Al! Oh, I named him Alvin.
Of course.
Yes, I named him Alvin. I was like, Alvin, is that you? Alvin, you look amazing. Alvin, he's chip, chip, chip. And then I was like, you have to go. There's cats outside. I love you. You have to hide. And he did that probably about a half a dozen times, and the last time I saw him, he brought a mate with him, a little female chipmunk, and he was dancing around, and she was just like, whatever, I don't get it, you know, she was just like hanging out, and I never saw him again, so I know that he just like, you know, he went and had a family and stuff, and that was...
That is so beautiful.
That was Alvin!
What a sweet story. Oh my God. That's truly something you never forget.
No, yeah.
Huh.
I love those moments, it's, yeah.
Yeah. What is your website? What's the name of the website?
My website is my name, so it's Iena SpiritWalker. That's IENA SpiritWalker.com. And yeah, that's me.
Great. I'll put that in the credits.
Awesome.
Too.
And I've been doing this for 25 years. I mean,
That's
professionally,
amazing.
I've been, as I shared, I've been speaking with animals since I was a child.
Yeah.
But just professionally doing healing work and mediumship and all that stuff. It's been 25 years, so.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's been super fun.
Oh, God.
Never a dull
it.
moment.
Right. So tell me, like, what are some of the most interesting, like, pets you've met on the other side who have died? You know, and what's been their, like, to you, the most interesting story? Mm-hmm. Not a trick question at all, huh?
No,
sorry.
I know there's so many.
Let me throw you a curveball.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, I think the most common thing, the thing throughout my experience has been that generally people really just want to know that their pets are okay, or that, you know, that they're not suffering anymore, you know, if they died suddenly or were very sick or whatever. And honestly, they are so good. They are so okay, and they are in a beautiful space. They do not suffer, they do not feel pain, and they're with you, they're watching you. And so many people have an experience and don't recognize it until I remind them. Like I'll say, for example, if someone's cat has passed and we're talking to the spirit of the cat, and I say, and you felt the cat on your bed, you know, recently, haven't you? You feel the little footprints, and then you look and you don't see anything, and they're like, oh, yeah, is that what that is? I'm like, yes, that's your animal coming to say I love you. I'm still here. And
I love it.
you know, it's
it.
just like humans. You know, our soul and their souls survive beyond this physical body for sure. Yeah, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, like, you know, they say, oh, I'm missing, you know, my mom or something so terrible. I keep saying, you know, she's always with you, you know, just listen, you know, start talking, and most importantly, listen to what she has to say.
Yes,
you know?
yes, they are always there. It's such a gift. Yeah, it's really awesome.
Yeah. So
and I understand. I'm sorry to make
no, go ahead.
When we cross over, so when we go to the other side, the first ones to greet us are our animals.
Oh.
You know how at home, like the first ones to say
Yes.
hello
Oh
to
my
you?
God, really?
Okay, so all the animals that you've had in your childhood and everything, they all just like
Aw.
push everyone else out of the way, and they're the first ones to greet you.
That is so sweet. Oh, I can't wait.
I know, I'm excited.
Oh, that's great. So, what do you tell people to, like, okay, what kind of person would you advertise to, or, you know, not so much advertise, but just suggest, like, you want to find out what your animal has to say?
Oh, okay, so you're kind of like...
I didn't say that right at all.
Who is my clientele?
Exactly,
Who
thank
is
you.
my clientele?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, My clientele is a very wide range. I think for a lot of stuff in this realm, generally it's women. Sometimes it's men.
Okay.
But I get everything from, the casual, I just want to know if my pet's enjoying the new house, to, like medical mysteries. The vets are unable to discuss, figure out what's going on, what's happening. And God, yeah, there's just really quite, and finding lost pets.
Oh boy.
Finding lost pets,
Okay.
big one, and I teach all this stuff to people as well. I have classes that I teach people how to tap into this stuff, because we can all do it.
Great.
We really, really
Great
can all
to
do
know.
it. But and for example, like one of the most recent animals I worked with is such a sweet pit bull, and she actually is my sister's dog, and my family's not really, they don't really have the same belief system as I do, which is totally cool.
Right.
I never force anything on anybody, and then however, I overheard someone saying, we're just at the point where we're going to keep her comfortable, and I was like, nope, hold on a second. I have something to do here, hold on. So I touched base with the dog, and all I knew was that she was adopted like a year ago. I didn't really know anything else. And from what I got from the dog, now she was riddled with, she had cancer, she had not neurological, but nerve damage. She, like, anytime she sat down, she would poop, and so, like, she couldn't control it. She couldn't really walk really well. Her tail didn't wag. She had cataracts. Like, really, this poor baby is just, like, all this stuff was going on, skin irritations, and she'd been through a lot of the traditional, my sister and her fiance have done so much, and she looks so much better than she did when she was adopted. She was skin and bones, and, she had patches all over her skin and stuff, but she was just at this point where the vets were like, well, we don't know what we can do anymore.
Right.
So I had some conversations with her dog, and what happened was this little dog, which I didn't know, was homeless. And when she was homeless, she often, I'm sure she was digging through the trash and doing whatever she could to try to survive. And people were kicking her, they were calling her trash dog, and all, these other words that I'm not sure that I can say on your show. And,
whatever,
and she really took that in, like, as her identity, and it really went into the cells, and it was like, it created all this sickness in every system in her body was sick. And even her eyes glazing over was just her, like, she didn't even want to see, because she just felt like she was ugly, and even though her new family had really just they show her so much love, and she has such an amazing home and life. Part of her really still felt like a trash dog, and like she didn't deserve it. We might know some humans that do the same thing, right? I mean, we take stuff on, and then it manifests as sickness. And so within the first, I did one session with her, and gosh, I worked on, her blood cells, everything was worked on. And I checked in with her. Spirit told me to check in 3 days, so I did that. And her spirit was waiting for me. Now, this is all done spirit to spirit, so it's distance healing. And her spirit was waiting for me, and I could see her. She's jumping up and down, and she's like, look what I can do. Look what I can do. And she's wagging her tail, and I was like, oh, honey, that's amazing. She's like, look at me. Look at me. And she was so excited, and I just thought I was like, oh, honey. And, we had spent a lot of time in the first session just, like, me showing her how beautiful she was, and really just bringing that energy into her and encouraging her to I cry a lot during my work, encouraging her just to, like, feel it and embrace the joy and the beauty that she is. And so she's hopping around, and so I called my sister. We don't speak that often, but I called her and I said, look, her doggy's name is Smoke. So I said, I just worked on Smoke, and, she was hopping up and down. She kept showing me her tail, like she was wagging her tail. And my sister said, that's so funny you say that, because she was wagging her tail yesterday. She never wags her tail. And I was like, yes!
I love it. I know.
Yes. So, and now she's doing a lot better.
Oh,
she's doing a lot better. She's, like, And my sister has even been able to take her for brief jogs, which is like, was never, like, never a thing. Like, before that, she would take like 3 steps and fall on her face, literally.
Oh.
So I'm crying already.
Oh my God, I know. I have tissues. Do you want tissues?
I'm okay. So yeah,
Aw.
so it's you know, stuff like that is really such a blessing to be a part of.
Wow.
To really be a voice for animals and just sort of bridge the gap, not only with communication, but with healing and, you know, just locating things. And I want to be clear too, like, this is all stuff that I'm really just opening myself up. This is not, you know, I'm not physically healing. Like, this is not my energy that's healing. I'm just like a tube, like a channel. Like, I'm just a straw, you know, and so that's why it's so amazing, because it's really just, I'm sort of just tuning the energy a little bit and you know, saying prayers, and yeah, it's fun.
That is so wonderful.
I have so many fun stories.
Come on, give me another one. We want another one. Let's go.
Well, I can tell you about how I spent my days as a child. We were talking about the mice very briefly.
Yes.
I love field mice. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, oh no. Okay. Sorry. My brain was like changing channels already. Okay. I have a lot of mice stories too, but okay, no, I have a better one. But it's still around mice. So
It's okay.
So I was staying with my folks after my divorce, and we had this little kitty. Her name was Molly, and she had scoliosis when we adopted her, and she had healed a lot being with us. And I talked to her a lot, and my mom would witness often me speaking to her, and then Molly would do, you know, what we were talking about. My mom would say, geez, it's like she knows English. I'm like, Mom, because I'm an animal communicator.
Yeah.
I'm an animal communicator. But anyway, so
Yeah.
this one day I saw my wintertime was coming, and the mice were starting to come in the house, as they do, to stay warm. And Mom and Dad were not down with that, which most people aren't, right? So I said to Molly, Grandmom and Grandpop are putting traps out to kill the mice, and what I want you to do is I want you to catch the mice at night and you bring them to me. I will take them outside. And that was it. It was just one conversation, 2 or 3 sentences, and I was like, okay, whatever, that's going to happen whenever. Oh, I didn't say at night. I just said, bring the mice to me. So I'm getting ready for bed. I'm brushing my teeth, and I hear this weird meow. This weird, like, muffled meow coming up the steps. And I open the bathroom door. Here comes Molly with a mouse in her mouth. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, I bring it in. She comes into the bathroom, and I grab it, and I run downstairs, and I put my boots on in the snow, and I walk it outside, and I send it away. And I'm like, okay, and I'm brushing my teeth, and she brought me several mouse, several times a night, to the point where I was like, she's going to drop it in my mouth when I'm asleep. Like, I don't know. But it got to the point where this one time I don't know, I was tired. I heard her coming up with a mouse, and I came out of bed, and it ended up like the bathroom was kind of our meeting place to exchange mice. I don't know why. This is just how it happened. So she brings me the mouse, and I dropped it. And it got away. And she just looked at me. And I said, I'm so sorry, Molly. I'm sorry. I'll wait. And okay, so I waited at the top of the steps, and she grabbed it. She brings it back out to me. I dropped it again.
Oh my God.
And at this point, she was like looking at me, like, are you freaking kidding me? And I said, I'm sorry, I'll get it one more time. I'll get it. So I got it on the 3rd try, and after that I said, Molly, you have been amazing. Thank you so much for all the mice you have saved. Please, you don't need to do this anymore. I release you. Like, we're good. Because she was so frustrated with me, like, you humans are so clumsy. She's like, look at me. All this work I do, and you just drop it, and it just runs away, not to catch it again. But I didn't want the mouse to get killed with the mouse trap.
Yeah, but the cat was saving the mice for you.
She was. How she didn't eat them. She just gently brought them up to me and dropped them, and she was amazing.
Oh, that's so dear. Oh my God. Oh, so Iena SpiritWalker. We should probably wrap it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, wow. That was
I
fun.
know, I know. But
I have my events
oh,
here.
do it. There we
Okay.
go. Let's do it.
Okay, so I have a couple events coming up, and I have my notes here so I don't forget. Okay, so I have a class coming up March 5th through 26th, and it's called Animal Lovers Essential Skills Course, and it's going to be on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will be on Zoom. And what we're going to do is open up our psychic abilities, and I'm going to teach you how to do animal communication, pet mediumship, animal healing, and finding a lost pet. So these are going to be live and recorded for participants, and the deadline is for participation is March 3rd. You can sign up on my website, and I know Ingrid's going to set that up so you can see that, IenaSpiritWalker.com. And I just got invited to an event in May, and I wanted to share it with you. It's through 102.9.
I love her.
102.9 WMGK John DeBella's Dog Walk. It's going to be in Green Lane, Pennsylvania, Saturday, May 14th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's a big event, and it's to help educate people about how to be better caretakers for their pets, as well as to showcase over 30 animal rescues. So I'm so excited about that. I'm going to be in one of the tents, and I'm going to be offering 30-minute sessions. You can book 2 in a row if you like. And I do recommend you hop on my website to pre-register for a session, because my prices will be about 50% less at this event, and 20% of that is going to go to one of the animal rescues there on the spot. And those are my notes.
And the pricing is on your website?
Everything's on the website,
good.
yeah.
Okay, so it's IenaSpiritWalker.com. Thank you so much for being with me today. Oh my God.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for being here and watching us today.
I love it. Thank you.
So sweet.
Yeah, living it up, making life juicy.
Woohoo!
That's what we do, baby. That's what we do.
That was awesome.
All right.